My name is Samanta Descombes-Roseme, and I currently serve as the secretary for MGI, Senior Strong Communities, formerly known as MGI Mystic Geriatric Institute. So we recently changed our name, so I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of our new name, Senior Strong Communities. I'm honored to be in my second year serving as a board member of this incredible organization, working alongside dedicated retirees, business leaders, and professionals who are committed to building senior strong communities. And yes, if you are here in person and if you're thinking about ways to support our community or even through volunteering, and if you're looking for a sign, or if you are online right now and be looking through our videos, looking for a sign to volunteer, this could be your sign. We are definitely looking for skilled and talented professionals to join our mission and our cause. There are also other ways that you can support us. At the end of this presentation, I'll share a QR codes. For those of you who may have a smartphone, you may be able to go straight to our website and just kind of get a sneak peek of what we are doing, what we've done in the community, and find a way to support our initiative. I joined this group because of our shared mission in empowering and educating caregivers, but also for the leadership mindset that I believe in, that if you want to go far, if you want to go fast, right, you can go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. In addition to my role, like Chris said earlier, as a board member, I also serve as a Chief Visionary Officer at Assured Quality Home Care, providing non-medical home care services, and Nurse Power, that is an affiliated agency providing private duty nursing services to bridge the gap in our healthcare system. We have 2 locations, one in Norwich, Connecticut, serving Union County, in our office, in our other office in Rhode Island, in Warwick, Rhode Island, serving Kent and Providence counties. With over 10 years of experience in home care, I spent the first 3 to 5 years of my nursing career as a case manager, working in hospice and palliative care. And in the years that followed, I transitioned into business leader and as a care navigator, pretty much doing the same thing, helping, empowering, and educating caregivers and families and keeping their loved ones home as they age and ensuring they can stay there through the end of their life. With supported services. This experience have opened my eyes to the need for education for our community because many people are unaware and uninformed about how to plan and adapt to the evolving needs of their loved ones as they age. And my presentation today is designed to help you navigate this transition with clarity and confidence. One thing I've learned, you guys can recognize I do have an accent. I was born and raised in Haiti. And one of the things I quickly learned in this country that you have to change with season, right? And it is very important to plan and adapt to different season that comes along. So just as we adjust our clothing to match the weather, we also adapt to life-changing season. The same principles also apply to caregiving. As a young mother, caring for small children, also as a daughter and a son, caring for an aging parent, we need to recognize, shift, validate them, plan for them, and equip ourselves with the knowledge that we need to make informed decisions. This helps us meet the evolving needs of ourselves, our parents, and our loved ones as they age, so they can receive the support they need at every stage. So hence, the title of my presentation today, Transition in Elder Care. The word transition itself carries a lot of weight. In nursing, we use the word transition. That means there's a change happening. It embodies 3 concepts that I want you to keep in mind as I go through this presentation. And one is planning, recognizing, and shifting. Planning means preparing for the different seasons, right, of life and anticipating what's ahead. Recognizing, acknowledging the changes happening right in front of us. A lot of time the changes are right there, but we're not really out of fear. We're not able to accept the reality of what's in front of us. So recognizing, acknowledging the changes happening in front of you, whether it's gradual changes or sudden changes, and shifting, taking action, and making the necessary adjustment to move forward in the season that you're in. So every time you see the word transitions in this presentation, I want you to think of those three words, which is planning. You guys paying attention? Planning, recognizing, and shifting. Very good, very good. It's good to plan, right? We plan ahead, plan for our life, and recognize the season we are in, right? And then with what we have in front of us, what decision we need to make to move forward. Addressing transition in healthcare. Why is this important? Why is it important to address transition? So as we age, right, we're all getting older. As our loved one age, our needs change, right? I'm a mother of 3. I have a teenager and I have a 10-year-old, and I'm seeing as different season their needs are changing. And it's the same again for ourselves and our older parents. As we change, our needs change. And understanding and planning for transition is crucial for various reasons. Ensure that the evolving needs are met, right? Preserving the dignity, autonomy, and overall well-being. Planning, proactive planning prevent crisis. We don't want to be working from one crisis to another, right? We want to plan ahead. Optimizes the efficient use of healthcare resources. There are so many resources available, but when we plan ahead, we can tap into those resources and make them work for us, right? And also allow for the best possible outcome of care. My goal today is to give you the tool to navigate this challenge, this transition, and be proactive in planning for the inevitable. As Winston Churchill says, he who fails to plan is planning to fail. There you go. All right, here's an overview of what you can expect from my presentation today. First, we'll start by recognizing and identifying the key factors that signal the need for transition in healthcare. We need to recognize, we need to know the signs of what's really happening. And a lot of time, we may not understand or have given the language to what's happening, so we can take action. So first we're gonna recognize, we're gonna talk about what's really happening, what we've seen, what we've observed, so that can validate your experience as well too. Hope that helps. And then we'll explore the different care options. Now we know what's happening. What are the available options? What are options available in the community? And we're gonna break it down by going discuss the advantages and key consideration of each different care option. And I was hoping to do a case study, but I think during our Q&A, that would give us the opportunity to take on the resources we learn here and put it into more practical real life situations. So I'm hoping you guys take notes, and as you share your current situation, we'll be able to use some of the things we learn here and make it into more practical, okay? Sounds good? Yes, good. All right. Recognizing the needs for transition. As a care navigator, most of the calls I receive on a day-to-day basis, I take a lot of calls every day, people seeking for care, seeking help. And most of the calls are often related to a decline in health. And that fits into 2 categories. It's either physical or mental. Physical decline or mental decline. Some of the physical decline can be, some of the decline could be gradual, right? Families are noticing signs. Others can take time, and other signs could be sudden, right? A hospitalization, a fall, a broken hip, now they need services. Some of the physical changes can be related to decreased mobility, reduced strength, feeling a little bit weaker, decreased endurance, right? Taking more time to sit down as you do different household tasks. All of the things can heighten the risk of falls and make everyday tasks like bathing even more challenging. For example, a parent experiencing frequent falls or consistently wearing the same clothes, those are the phone calls I get in the office, those may be showing signs of struggling with self-care, right? Cognitive decline, memory loss, forgetfulness can result in serious challenges, such as malnutrition, forgetting to eat, difficulties accessing medical care due to missed appointment, mom or dad or loved one is forgetting to that they had a doctor's appointment today, right? And safety risks like neglecting to take medications, or even worse, forgetting to turn off the stove after they've cooked. And those are the phone calls I get on a day-to-day basis of family noticing those things and asking, what do I do next, you know? Other health factors include changes in health, in weight, such as unexplained weight gain or weight loss, which can often indicate nutritional imbalances or underlying health condition like congestive heart failure. As a nurse, if I have a patient who have with CHF, one of the things we always do, we monitor their weight, or they've gained weight, then they have to seek medical help. And one example I wanted to share with you is of our weight changes as an educator, also of a transition in health, is I have a 97-year-old grandmother who is still alive and lives with my mom. And every time I visit, she's always accusing my mom of not feeding her. So my mom is starving her to death. And it's because she cannot remember that she's eating. Not only cognitively, she's lost that ability, she's not remember, but she can't tell when she's full as well. And one of the things that you may or may not be aware of is in dementia, areas of the brain that regulates appetite and fullness, such as the hypothalamus, can be affected. And this can lead to significant changes in eating behaviors, such as overeating or not eating enough, right? So if you're noticing those changes, it could be. Changes in vision or hearing loss. This could lead to isolation, right? If I've had stories, heard calls from families who had cataract surgery or is not driving well, and now having the conversation of, what do we do about driving? And those are really tough conversations to have. And because driving is freedom, you can go anywhere you want, right? So this could lead to isolation and safety concern with driving. Chronic pain lead to decreased mobility or depression. Frequent infection could be related to decreased personal hygiene. For example, we had a female patient with dementia who was adamant in being independent with her personal care, and she was very resistive to receiving assistance with personal care and hygiene. This created significant challenges such as improper hygienic practices, making her highly susceptible for recurrent UTI. So if you have a loved ones and mom has had falls and is getting UTI frequently, it could be that they're not providing proper hygienic care. All right. Loss of other factors, or loss of, look at that. Loss of independence, reduced ability to perform daily activities, and complex medical needs. These factors may really require a reassessment of the living situation to ensure that there is really adequate support. In some cases, this may require relocating to a facility or an environment that is equipped with the expertise and resources to provide the necessary care. When you get to a point where the care needs is more complex, that a family member can maintain or bring on additional support, it may be time to evaluate the home environment. It may have to change to a nursing home or to be able to receive the care you need. And lastly, crisis situation. Unexpected events or the emergence of challenging behaviors may create an urgent need for intensive care, leading to transition to a more supportive environment. It's also important to note that behavioral changes are often signs. As a nurse, usually when a caregiver or family member is noticing changes in mental status, sometimes it's related to a urinary tract infection, and with proper treatment, they may resume to normal behavior. Other factors as not mentioned here are bowel and bladder, changes in bowel and bladder function. Many elderly falls on the way rushing to the bathroom due to sudden onset of incontinence. So ultimately, these health factors can increase the risk of falls, injuries, and being aware of this warning sign enable caregivers, healthcare professionals, and families to address health concerns promptly and make well-informed decisions about appropriate care and make certain interventions. During this stage, it's important to maintain regular monitoring, of your loved ones, maintain open honesty and communication, and also thorough documentation. In the case of my mom, if she leaves the house, for example, and not documenting that grandma ate, then you'll come home, you'll be overfeeding her. So it's important to document the day activities, what happened, to ensure that you're to better care for your loved ones. Not all factors influencing the need of transition are related to health changes. Some are driven by non-medical factors, such as increase in caregiving demands, or shift in family dynamics and safety concern, family constraint, financial constraints, loneliness and isolation. These issues may not have direct health implication, but they can significantly impact overall well-being and quality of life. I'm going to use John here as an example with Mr. Thompson. And the last one is isolation and loneliness. The experience, John, Mr. Thompson's wife passed away, and John, who lives the closest now, has to take on more caregiving responsibilities because his siblings live out of state. Those are circumstances phone calls that I get. Mom was the caregiver for dad, and all of my siblings don't live nearby. What do I do now? That needs to be. So family dynamics have changed. Safety concern, dad lives in a big house. There's a lot of work to be done. There's a 3-story home with steep, narrow stairs. Although you may be physically, strong, but those are safety concerns to think about. It may be good now, but down the road that could cause a fall. Increased caregiving demands. John juggles caring for his children. He's working and managing, caring for dad, parenting. All of those are usually signs of burnt out. I've gotten calls from caregivers that this is okay now, but 5 years down the road, it's like I'm not doing well. Those are signs of caregiver burnt out. Loneliness. Wife passed away. Mr. Thompson now spends most of the day sleeping. So those are the things to address. So our mom is no longer here. Is it time to change the environment to ensure that there's a community there for him? Financial constraint. They are on a fixed income. Mr. Thompson struggles to afford home maintenance and care, making it hard to age safely in his home. So those financial constraints could lead to change in the home environment, downsizing to an apartment, and maybe a 1-floor level where everything is there, like the laundry is on 1 floor, making it easier for him to age in place. So not only do they have health factors that you may have been noticing, but there are also non-medical factors that may necessitate that, needs for change. Assessing care options. Though there are many options available, one of our board members, Robin, I think she was here a couple of days ago, she has in adult daycare. There's definitely a lot of different options available for care. However, today we will focus on the most common pathway for elder care, such as home care, assisted living, and nursing home. Each offers unique benefits and considerations. And the choices really depend on several factors. One is preferences, right? Most people, they want to be home, right? Who doesn't want to stay at home? So preference is one. Second is health conditions. Are you stable enough to really do well in the environment that you've chosen, right? So health plays a factor in that. And available resources. Available resources doesn't always come to money, right? Though it does play a factor, but also community supports, right? Family. I've had just meet families where they may not have the income, but they have such a strong community. They've done well in taking care of the people around them, that in the time of need, that all the community come together for them. So community support is also important. Being closer to family also is important. And equipment. So having the proper equipment. If you live in a 3-story house, ensuring that you may have a stair lift and be open to doing certain home modifications. So there are other factors that play into choosing the best care options for you. So it is really important to do a comprehensive assessment of an individual needs, and it also involve a healthcare professional in the decision-making process. This ensures that families, you can make an informed decision about the most suitable care setting for your loved ones, put into consideration the medical, the emotional, and also practical needs. There are countless advantages to staying at home. I'm definitely biased because I am all for home care. I'm a home care nurse. I'll say, yes, you can stay home. But it will also be a disservice to, I'm only going to name a few for the sake of time. We'll focus on the most common shared benefits that family have expressed to me in my experience in regards to why home is the best, right? I can go on and on of bringing on data to show how we do so much better at home, right? And I'll definitely be biased. One of the benefits is, again, there's a personal one-on-one care, right? You have one person, you don't have to share that one caregiver that you've probably helped selected, will match your personality, right? You have more individualized attention and dedicated support. You have greater control over your daily routine. You can wake up when you want and make plans with your caregiver, what you want to do for the day. And also you have a tailored care plan. Your service is customized to meet a specific health and personal needs. However, there are other considerations. There are things to consider for when bringing on a home care agency. You have in your hands a pamphlet that has 8 questions that, I don't know if you guys have it, to ask when vetting a home care agency. So that you can use as well if you are in the process, if you're thinking about bringing on a home care agency at home to assist you, your loved ones. Those are a set of questions that I believe will definitely help you make informed decisions. Things to consider, again, licensing, making sure the agency is licensed, accredited, and have a good reputation. If you know someone who have a computer and can go online, it's important to read the reviews and see what others are saying about the agency. It's important to know what the agency uses for communication, and is the agency monitoring their staff. Home safety modification. I meet so many individuals who want to come home, but what they don't realize that the home they have now is not equipped to be able for them to thrive at home. And a lot of time when we go to a nursing home or a hospital, the environment is set up for us to say, well, there's a hospital, but everything we need is in their home. But yet when we come home, we're very reluctant to really making those changes. So it's important to know if you're considering staying home that there's gonna have to be changes in the home environment. There's gonna have grab bars that needs to be installed and things that just to make it easier for you to age in place. For things to consider is a quality of care and staff qualification. And also one of the things for you guys to know is Connecticut is home to more than 900 home care agency, which is a stark contrast to a state of Rhode Island that has about 33 home care agencies. Yes, Rhode Island is a smaller state, but in Connecticut, home care agencies are currently managed by the Department of Consumer Protection. However, there is an active plan in motion to transition oversight to the Department of Health, which will bring changes to how home care agencies are managed and regulated. So in Connecticut, we don't really have a strong regulation for home care agency. That's why there are 900. There probably reach 1,000 by now with home care agency. Two families I've heard called Connecticut a wild west state, comparing to Rhode Island. So 900 compared to 32 in Rhode Island. It's just we've had to go through an application process to get even have our license in Rhode Island. It took us a year. Just we've had series of meetings and there were interviews and things to do. The Rhode Island really raised the bar and putting things in place, not really to discourage you, to make sure that if you really want to have an agency that you have what it takes. Whereas in Connecticut, it's really that easy. So it's important to know those challenges. Don't shop for a home care agency. Don't look for the cheapest price, because that comes at a cost. If you want care professionals taking care of, of your loved ones in your home, who are trained, who have the qualifications, they may be in higher pay. So those are a good set of questions. And if you have more questions, again, during the Q&A, since this is what I do, I'll be able to answer them for you. Other things to consider: emergency response plan. Families have had life alerts. Wear them. It's important to educate our loved ones, to carry with them. I've had so many families that have life alert, and when falls happen, it's nowhere to be found. So if we have it, if you want to be home, there are sacrifices that we have to make. Pet safety, if you have pets, understand as well. Social isolation. In a facility or an assisted living facility, there are people around. So it's good to understand in a home, let's say if your families have moved to other states, that there is, you may feel isolated and lonely. So it's important to be involved, right? To connect to different communities, so that way you kind of help with that loneliness, especially during the winter season. Access to other services. This is truly important, to know, can VNA services come into your home? Do you have access to physical therapy? Do you have, let's say you are homebound and not able to drive, or you're wheelchair bound, or the transportation services, so, you can use if you need to attend a doctor's appointment. I've had clients who are wheelchair bound, and it's really a hassle just to get into appointments and medical appointments. So it's good to understand access to medical services if you want to be coming home, if you want to stay home. Assisted living facility. This slide really emphasized the benefit of choosing an assisted living facility, kind of highlighting the balance between independence and support. So, most of you, I'm sure, probably have been in an assisted living facility where you are independent, you have your own apartment, but there is support available. You don't have the one-on-one assistance in home care, like someone with you all the time, but you do have the ability to call someone if you need service, if you need additional support. What else? A big aspect of living in an assisted facility, that the social component is huge. There's happy hours, there's people around you. If you are a social butterfly, you may not want, it's really a choice. I've had families decided to have mom stay in assisted living because they love being around people. If you love being around people, then it's probably better to be in an assisted living facility because there's people around to chat with. There's activities going on to participate in. And also ensure that the supported services is tailored to your individual needs. Some things to consider: staff availability. One thing that's important to me is understanding that in assisted living facility, though they have nurses, some assisted living facility have nurses available, but not all of them have nurses 24/7. So there are those that have nurses 24/7. Let's say if you have an emergency at night, is there a nurse on call, right? Staff availability. And also too, though there are CNAs around, how many staff the agency is hiring, so that if you have an emergency, knowing that in a timely manner, someone can come and provide assistance to you. So that's also something to consider. Financial implication and understanding costs. Another factor that a lot of families I speak with did not take the time to understand is, although being in an assisted facility is not a nursing home, there may be, as your loved one's care, increases, the care needs increase. And if the goal is to stay home, the assisted living is home, you may still need to bring on a home care agency. You can bring on a home care agency, provide 24/7 care in the nursing home. A lot of families didn't realize the added cost of, paying for an assisted living in addition to paying for a home. So that's also something to kind of consider as you evaluate different options and understand that as we age, our care, as things happen, our care needs will change. Also, expenses will change as well too. And that's the exploration of amenities and services to make sure that they align with your preferences. Skilled nursing facility. I fight hard to keep all of my patients home as I'm a hospice nurse. I'll bring all different services. but there are times when the care is just way beyond what we can do. Again, with my agency, I have assured quality home care, provide non-medical, and we also have nurse-powered private duty where we can bring non-medical. So we find all different ways to keep our client home. But again, there are times where a nursing home it may be better because of the level of care that's needed. Again, nursing home, we are probably all aware there's 24/7 medical care and supervision. There's expertise in managing complex health. And of course, there's rehab available. Some things to consider is the quality of care and staff ratio. You may or may not be familiar with that. The reputation and reviews, find out what others are saying about the nursing home. I'm sure you'll definitely hear from social workers in different hospitals and find reviews on the nursing home, what activities they have, and for social engagement and the ratings. So overall, making informed healthcare decision requires collaboration between our loved ones, the family, and healthcare professionals, while also considering available resources and personal preference. As we move forward, let us remain committed to empowering families with the knowledge and tools needed to make informed decisions, ensuring that the transition in elder care are not just a shift in location, but a deliberate and compassionate step toward enhancing the quality of life for our loved ones. And this is it. Thank you for your attention, and may your journey in healthcare be guided with empathy, understanding, and a commitment to the well-being of those we hold dear.
And thank you, Samanta. It was really terrific. And Samanta left some handouts on the back table if you want to grab some on the way out. And thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you.